Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation. Thank you very much for joining me. Today, a video on, I have a couple occurrences of synchronicity with technology in a really high degree. And the first time it happened was I was discussing with someone on the phone in a conversation and in text about going to see Bashar, and when Bashar was doing the Sedona vortex, and they were going to build this amplified space-time antenna to be able to have better communication. It was going to pick people from the audience, and I found out that event was full, but I had kept getting, and I've been sending out communications telepathically to Epsilon of the third oversoul, the 1/3 oversoul, the Essassani homeworld. And recently I've been able to send things to Bashar, and I'm feeling some feedback and thinking of the Sodoma area and him up in his spaceship sending energy to balance out Sodoma, and that there's YahYel and Essassani energy just soaked in that area. So I'm thinking about those types of things, and I'm thinking about those types of things, and I'm having this conversation, and my phone, I use Google Play and Google Music, and I have all my music and stuff in there. And there's this holotrope experience that comes up on my phone when I'm talking about this, and the idea of going to Sodoma, sharing this idea, and maybe getting a group together to do a retreat or something in Sodoma to soak up the YahYel and Essassani energy and send telepathic greetings to Bashar while you're there. And my phone starts to play a holotrope experience from Bashar, one I hadn't heard for a long time, and it turns out that it was physically on my phone. And, you know, I've heard people in Bashar events that get called that never put their name in and things like that, and I don't remember ever playing this thing, and I might have downloaded it at some point in time. I have a really good memory. But it was playing, and I didn't touch anything. I didn't even use those types of interfaces. I didn't even know that existed. You know, the player that was playing was the internal player, so it somehow picked up and started playing, and it was playing while I was doing these communications. Because I noticed something was happening, and then I put it on after it had been playing for a while. I'm like, that's interesting. Hello. Hello. And so this other synchronicity that came up was not in relation to Bashar or any channels or any entities, but it was, I was doing something yesterday, and I was thinking, oh, I need to set my timer. And I never, you know, on my phone, I close any and all apps that I don't use. Maybe I keep the text messaging one open, and I keep my contact management one open that sends over information and contacts and syncs with my phone. And maybe one other like Google Play or YouTube will be open so that I can watch videos. Otherwise, I don't leave anything else open. And I'm thinking I need the timer, and I go to my phone and I hit it to turn it on, and the timer is there. It's not an option in the list when you're looking for apps that are running. It's there, already running and ready, and it's right there. So I skipped to parallel reality, where I skipped the steps that were necessary to put that on my phone. That is more of a fourth density state. Just like when Bashar and others have, you know, someone has asked Bashar directly in one of the communications in one of the events, is like, so for you, in your fourth density before they went to the next density, so you experience yourself in your spaceship, and then at your front door or in another location in your spaceship, you just bounce around where you want to go. You skip all those parallel realities because, you know, they're not exciting, they're not necessary for you. And so this is likened to that idea on a smaller scale in the beginning of a fourth density, fifth dimensional type of state, where you're skipping steps and space and time is malleable. I'm starting to recognize that, and I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, oh, I just needed to think that that's what I needed, and, you know, the timer wasn't already running or anything. That would have been even more interesting, you know, for it to be like, you know, where I was thinking of my marker, but it was there, and it was ready to run, and I didn't launch it. I mean, I usually have to go into, I don't even have a button for it. I have to go into Google and go into Google Voice and say, launch, you know, launch timer. app, and it launches, and I didn't even have to get to that step. It was just right there. So I thought that was extremely noteworthy and potentially very interesting for some people. And I'm kind of curious if you've had similar experiences in the way of technology or any other types of experiences that you feel that were high in synchronicity. Please do share those down below. Excuse me, I was like, that's awesome. Let's have some more synchronicity with some other things now, or I just go to my bank account, there's $1 million in there. That's what Daddy needs. I just find that as I'm doing things and I'm letting go more and more of certain types of ideas that has to be done a certain way, that things like that show up more often because you're within the energy state and magnetizing yourself to the parallel realities that are commensurate with those types of ideas being able to happen a lot more easily. So, thank you very much for joining me again, Glenn Parker, High Vibration Foundation, coaching, life, business, and spiritual, also retreats, boys and girls, and all of that is down below. All those links for anything and everything, among all kinds of other interesting opportunities that are down there. For different channels and different people that are within the new energy that I've put links to. Yes, and if you do like this video, please do like, subscribe, and share.